So you load up Valorant and are excited to get some wins. Just kidding. The reality is that you queue into a game with 4 other teammates who you aren't even sure are actually human. You constantly feel like you're getting one-tapped by the enemy team and you just can't hit a shot. I know most of us can relate to this. Taking gunfights in Valorant is not easy, and sometimes it feels impossible to win. But after this video, you will turn from a little Timmy into a ranked demon. Many of us practice in aim labs, the range, or even deathmatch, but still don't see much improvement. A big reason is because you're not implementing the correct techniques in your mechanics, and this video will go over how to maximize your skill with simple tasks and quick fixes to your gameplay. Let me start by showing you a clip of an average low elo player playing deathmatch. This player makes nearly the same 5 mistakes on every kill, and at the end of this video, I will show you the same clip, but by then you will know the fixes that are needed to be made. Now, when you are looking at this clip, you need to understand that there was not a single kill here that was good, and the fix required is far more than just stop crouching. You see, the way this player enters a gunfight and then engages in the gunfight is entirely wrong. And if your deathmatches look remotely like this, you need to understand you are building bad habits and are wasting your time. But before I can explain the 5 mistakes being made, I need to show you how to properly engage in gunfights. So with that being said, we will first start with 3 exercises you need to do in the range, which will directly translate to the practice you need to do in deathmatches. Before you do anything, make sure to go to your settings and turn the shooting error graph on. The goal of this first exercise is to develop coordination between your movement and your shooting. This is fundamental to winning gunfights in Valorant. First, select the bots to easy mode and purchase a Vandal. Press start, and when the bots spawn to your left, you should overflick to the left of the bot and then walk to the right only using D until your crosshair aligns on the bot's head. Then let go of D and one tap the bot. If the bot spawns on your right, you want to overflick to the right, then move to the left only using A until your crosshair aligns on the bot's head. Make sure to not overflick too far and to immediately start walking after your initial flick. You want to have a fluid motion between your flicking, movement, and shooting. And your shooting error graph should only show orange to indicate maximum accuracy. For easy bots, you want to target a score of 25 to 30 with minimal effort. After getting comfortable with easy bots, you want to do the same for medium bots and target a score of 20. This exercise will force you to coordinate your movement and your aim. You want to start slow and develop the correct muscle memory to stop and shoot. As you get more comfortable, the faster you will be able to go. The second exercise you need to do is the advanced version of the first exercise, but it is even more necessary to master. The goal of this exercise is to practice firing a fully accurate shot while moving before and after you shoot. In the first exercise, you would overflick, move, stand still, and finally shoot. But for this exercise, you need to slightly overflick, move, stop for a very brief moment, hit a fully accurate shot, and then immediately move in the opposite direction. The key difference in this exercise is that you cannot stand still for more than a second when shooting. Start with easy bots in the range. When the bot spawns to your left, you want to slightly overflick to the left of the bot and then press D until your crosshair aligns on the bot's head. The moment your crosshair is on the bot's head, you want to immediately let go of D, one tap the bot with full accuracy, and then immediately press A to move in the opposite direction. If the bot spawns on your right, you want to overflick to the right of the bot and then press A until your crosshair aligns on the bot's head. Then immediately let go of A, hit a fully accurate one tap, and then immediately press D to move in the opposite direction. This technique is called dead zoning, which is mastering the timing of when to shoot a fully accurate shot while moving before and after you shoot. It is important to keep practicing dead zoning until you're very comfortable coordinating your movement with your shooting. The third exercise you need to practice in the range will help your tracking. I do it almost every stream. By the way, I'm live most weekdays on YouTube and Twitch. I recently streamed myself solo queue all the way to Immortal, and it's a great place to learn or ask any questions you have. Plus, it helps me survive the solo queue jungle. First, set the bots to eliminate 100. Then buy a sheriff. Track each bot for a few moments before stopping to shoot the bot. When tracking the bot, you only want to move pressing either A or D. You never want to track the bot holding W. You also need to practice tracking from different ranges, and this will require a lot of focus. After eliminating 100 bots with the Sheriff, you want to do the same with the Phantom and the Vandal. And if you want even more practice, do it with the Ghost and Guardian. After a couple hundred bots, your aim will start to feel very crisp. Next, let's discuss how to properly play deathmatches and how to engage in gunfights using the practice you did in the range. These few fixes to your gameplay will help your aim out tremendously. The first aspect you want to focus on in deathmatch is how you are moving before you peak an angle. If you have been loading into deathmatches and have only thought about warming up your aim, you've been playing deathmatch wrong this entire time, which is why you may not have seen much improvement. In deathmatch, there are a couple of areas you want to focus on. The first area you must focus on is your pre-gunfight engagements. Simply put, when you are playing deathmatch, you need to focus on when you are holding W and when you are pressing A and D. In deathmatch, I will always hold W to get to an angle I want to peek. However, just before I expose myself to that angle, I am solely using A or D to peek. This means that when I expose myself to a new position or an area I hear an enemy at, I'm only moving with A and D. While this may seem simple, so many players still do not do this. If you feel like you're getting one-tapped all the time, it's because you're not implementing this technique into your gameplay. It's also important to note that before I peek, I have my crosshair pre-aimed at the angle until I intend to take a gunfight. You see, you don't always need to aim with your mouse. As a matter of fact, using your movement to line up your crosshair on the enemy is more efficient for aiming, which is why pre-aiming before you peek makes aiming much more easy. You also want to keep moving with A or D until your crosshair is on the enemy's head instead of immediately flicking or panic shooting. Check out this clip where I get caught off guard by the enemy jet, but I keep walking to my left using A until I'm ready to shoot, which causes the enemy to whiff. Planting A, planting A. So again, use W to get to an angle you want to take a gunfight at, but before you peek, you must only use A and D. This is a very active process. In deathmatches, I'm always thinking of when I want to let go of W and when I want to start pressing A and D. After focusing on this in deathmatches, you will start to notice significant improvement in your ranked games. But there's even more you need to focus on in deathmatch to make you a consistent player. The second aspect of deathmatch you need to focus on is mid gunfight engagements. A huge concept that's holding people back in their games and in deathmatches is how they have wired their brains during gunfights. Many new players and players who struggle to get kills have the following mindset. They will move before a gunfight, but during the gunfight they will stand still and try to shoot. Now on paper that seems right, but it's incomplete for one simple reason. What happens if you miss or the enemy also shoots back? Now you're just a stationary target who's easy to shoot at. But before I can explain the fix you need to make, make sure to drop a like and hit that subscribe button so that you can rank up faster. We're so close to 10k subs and let's get to that 25k. Also, turn on notifications so you know when I go live. And make sure to join my Discord. We have an awesome community and it's the best way to interact with me outside my streams. So the way you want to approach a gunfight is to engage using A and D. Next, you want to keep moving until you have your crosshair lined up on the opponent. However, here is a small change you need to make which will create a massive difference in your gunfight win conversion. So pay close attention. If you miss your initial shot or whiff your initial spray, your immediate thought should not be to stand still and try to move your crosshair to the enemy's head to start shooting again. Your immediate thought after missing or shooting a body shot from long range should be to stop shooting and to move to the right or left solely using A or D so you can't get shot at while correcting your crosshair to start shooting again. The problem in your gunfights is that you're so focused on trying to get the kill, you forget you also need to avoid being killed. Your gunfights need to be shoot and move, shoot and move, shoot and move. This is a key difference between a high-skilled mechanical player and a low-skilled one, because the high-skilled player can not only aim, but can also avoid being shot at, which means they consistently win more gunfights than someone with just good aim. You see, even if you got better aim, you will just get hard stuck again because of how easy of a target you are to shoot at. Furthermore, even if you don't miss your shots, you still need to practice dead zoning almost every kill you get in deathmatch. You want to move, hit a fully accurate shot, then move immediately after. You need to avoid standing still for longer than a second when shooting. Entering gunfights with this mindset will help you get more kills, but it will be hard to implement at first. So when you queue up for deathmatch, you need to incorporate these two key concepts into your gameplay. The first is to use W to get to the angle you want to peek at, and then to press A or D before exposing yourself to that angle. Practice this with short peeks and wide peeks, and have your crosshair prepared for each angle before you peek. The second tip is to rewire the way you approach gunfights and to use dead zoning to get kills. You never want to see yourself standing still and shooting. You want to focus on moving before and after you shoot, especially if you miss your initial shot, whiff your initial spray, or hit a body shot at long range. If you struggle to find the timing to shoot, go back to the exercises I showed in the range. Also, the direction you move is completely under your control. You can move left then right, left then again more left, right then left, or right and again more right. The more unpredictable you move after you shoot, the harder of a target you are to shoot at. You need to abuse the fact that your opponents can't track enemies easily and have poor movement themselves. The last thing to focus on in deathmatch is keeping your crosshair centered around a corner when holding W. This is a tiny yet crucial detail for your mechanics. If you are holding W and are moving fast, you need to center your crosshair at head level and slightly away from the wall you are staring at. You need to round your crosshair along the corner of the wall and make sure it's not inside the wall. This will keep you prepared for a peek when you are in situations where you need to move with W. After holding W and getting close to the angle you are staring at, you want to let go of W and start clearing the corner using A or D. Moving on, another important tip to keep in mind is how to approach a gunfight at different ranges. Each range has its own optimal style of fighting. At very close ranges, you want to run and gun because many bullets will connect and you are extremely hard to track. Trust me, it works more often than you think. Just look at these clips.
One enemy remaining.
Wow. At At medium ranges, you want to use A and D to enter a gunfight. Ideally, you want to strafe and dead zone to get the headshot. But the exception at medium range is that if you don't hit an immediate headshot, you can spray and control your recoil to get the kill. And if you know you are facing only one opponent, you can use crouch to control the spray. However, before you commit to a crouch, make sure your crosshair is on the enemy instead of immediately crouching and spraying, hoping some of your shots will land, because they usually won't. Spray control is not something you want to consistently rely on like in CSGO, because Valorant has random spray patterns. At long ranges, you never want to spray or crouch. You can only strafe and shoot. If you miss your initial shot or even hit a body shot as your first shot, you want to move and then reshoot. Never stand still in a long range gunfight. It is far better to shoot one body shot at a time and dodge the enemy's bullets than to stand still and hit 4 body shots in a row. Now that you know the proper techniques needed to improve your aim, let's go back to that deathmatch clip we saw at the beginning of this video. Like I said before, there are 5 major mistakes made on almost every kill. Let's start with the first and most obvious one, which is that this player is instantly crouching and spraying when they see an enemy. You want 0 of your kills to be crouch sprays in deathmatch. The next mistake this player is doing is that he's holding W and exposing himself to multiple angles very fast. This causes him not to enter gunfights solely using A and D. This will make it harder for him to dead zone, and he will be an easier target to shoot at. The third mistake he's doing is that he's not properly pre-aiming angles before he peeks. This leads to the fourth mistake, which is that he's not taking his time to use his movement to line up his crosshair on the enemy's head before shooting. He's panic flicking instead of remaining calm and simply walking to the right or left until he's on target. The fifth and biggest mistake is that he's doing absolutely 0 dead zoning to get a kill. None of his kills are a clean burst fire headshot while moving before and after shooting. So now let me show you what some of his kills should have looked like. If you're going to practice your mechanics in deathmatch, you gotta do it right. For some of you, this may take hundreds of deathmatches, and for others, it may be a few quick fixes in technique. Regardless, you'd rather die trying to execute the mechanics correctly than get a useless kill with poor technique. Now that you know how to get better at shooting in Valorant, you need to learn how to capitalize your skill in clutch situations. So check out my previous video where I break down what I learned from analyzing 100 clutches. Remember to download GamerLink using the link below to help support the channel and to join my Discord. Drop a like, subscribe, and comment your favorite tip below.